I am Jenna Bosonko, and this is QTV Midday News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thanks for joining us. We deeply apologize for the late start. Here are the main local news headlines. 2 people have died and 4 are seriously injured after a pickup truck driven by an economic soldier struck a tricycle at Mariama Kunda Junction on Saturday. Despite widely reported allegations of irregularities, the IEC's provisional list of registered voters have faced no objections or appeals from the public after the 14-day period for any legal challenge elapsed. Senior GRA and national audit officials attended a 4-day capacity building training in diplomacy and professional etiquette. The Minister of Environment has presided over the launching of 7 books written in 7 years by a Gambian author based in the UK. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Midday News. Thank you for joining us, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Now, 2 people have died and 4 are seriously injured after a pickup truck driven by an economic soldier on a peacekeeping mission in the Gambia on Saturday struck a tricycle at Mariama Kunda Junction. A statement by economic contradicts eyewitnesses' accounts. Babukar C has the rest of that.
According to eyewitnesses, the driver ran away after the incident and was chased by a mob. Police spokesperson Lamin Jai has confirmed the incident, saying that it involved an economic vehicle and a tricycle. An eyewitness, Salif Ba, who was instrumental in identifying the suspect, explains to QTV what happened at Mariama Kunda Johnson on Saturday morning. I was on my way from Turntable, and at Mariama Kunda Johnson, I saw a vehicle speeding towards my direction with lights on full beam. As I tried to flash my headlights for him to dim his lights, I heard a bang. I saw then what he had hit a tricycle and run over the people in it and then stopped next to me. I tried talking to him, but he was drunk and could not even stand up properly. He pretended he was going to turn his car and pick up the dead bodies. Instead, he drove away and we chased him. The 2 people killed, Mohamed Korkaba, 18, and Kemo Sane, 35, lived in the same compound in New Yundum. Korka was a final year student at Model Senior Secondary School who are currently doing their WAS examinations. His class teacher, Umi Jame, told us what sort of a student Korka was.
Mamadou was a very good student, and in fact our best students. We have them in 12A1 and 12A2. He was in our best class, doing well, and he was so disciplined and down to earth.
Catherine Sambu and Zainab N. Jawara, the head girl and assistant head girl of Model Senior Secondary School, described their fellow student as humbled and called on the authorities to support the seriously injured in hospital.
Though we lose Mamadou Kiba, there is no way that he can come back. The only thing is we need prayer for him, and it's only prayer that will find him in his grave here, not of tears.
Aliuba, a relative to the deceased, calls on the government to investigate the matter and prosecute the perpetrator.
This news reached to the family that 2 of them passed away, so which was so shocking, it was so painful, it brings a lot of pain to the family. We are urging the government to stand on this case because you cannot be drunk and drive.
However, in a statement from ECOWAS, which contradicts eyewitnesses' statement, the commander of ECOMIC, Colonel Sheikh Omar Tamba, confirmed that, according to the information they have, a Ghanaian contingent ECOMIC vehicle going from Old Yundum towards Fajara, on reaching Mariama Kunda Johnson, a tricycle that was trying to avert a pothole, so then they ran into the driver's lane from the left side of the road, causing the collision. The ECOWAS statement does not address the allegation that the driver was drunk. In further contradiction of the eyewitnesses' account, the ECOWAS statement, which was also given in an interview to an online TV channel, goes on to say, according to the driver, he stopped and came out of the vehicle to check on the persons in the tricycle so as to help them. However, a mob came to the scene, and a gentleman who felt the accident was not his fault told him to flee the scene because the mob would kill him. Therefore, he quickly drove off back to Paradise Estate in Old Yundum, and the mob followed him in Opta vehicles. Realizing he was being trailed, he left the vehicle in a nearby house at Paradise Estate and hid from the mob. End of statement. The family, though, is demanding justice while they await the outcome of the police investigation. Babukar Si, QTV News.
Very unfortunate situation there. Now, despite widely reported allegations of irregularity, the IEC's provisional list of registered voters has faced no objections or appeals from the public after its publication on the 15th of August and the elapsing of the 14-day period for any legal challenge. The revising court, whose work was scheduled to commence on Monday, 6 September, confirmed they have received no appeals or objections. QTV's Mohamed Lamin Choi visited the courts and he fastened support.
The revising courts, which were established to rule on objections to and appeals against the IEC's Provisional Voters Register, have no cases to review, a day after they were scheduled to start operating. We visited 4 of them in the KMC and West Coast regions to monitor progress. Chief Magistrate Omar Cham speaks to QTV.
Up to yesterday, we did not receive any case or cases. So this is why I said that's the good news, because when cases come to court, it means it's a dispute that needs to be settled. So I am assuming that if there is no case, there is no dispute.
All the revising courts we visited confirmed they had not received any formal objections or appeals. The Independent Electoral Commission had published and pasted its provisional list of registered voters at registration centers for public viewing, objections and appeals. Aissatou Janenjai, a principal magistrate, was among those appointed to hear cases through the revising court at Kanifing Magistrates Court. She tells us about the legal procedure for hearing an appeal or objection.
After the list is conducted, I think the public has to lodge these appeals or objections within 14 days from the date of publication. And if that is lodged too, the registering officer of the IEC has a duty within 14 days again to prepare another list of appeals and deletions. They are also required to paste those lists of appeals and deletions for the public to go over them. I think after a certain period or so, 14 days, I presume, they file those appeals or objections to the court. That is when we start the revising court proper. But if we do not receive this, then basically there is nothing for us to do.
So, time has already elapsed for anyone to file an objection or complain to the revising courts. The IEC's Director of Training and Communication confirmed to QTV via telephone that the Commission has not received any objections or appeals from the public. The Director also reveals that the courts will therefore proceed with certifying the provisional list of registered voters. However, although there have been no objections or appeals filed at the revising courts, there is nevertheless an anomaly about the provisional list of registered voters. The IEC had issued a statement that out of the 800,000 people registered, it had detected 2,996 voters who had registered twice or more. This is a criminal offense. However, as there have been no objections or appeals, it has not been decided what actions, if any, will be taken against those found liable. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
The Diplomacy, Etiquette and Protocol Consulting Agency, in partnership with the Gambia Revenue Authority, on Monday commenced a 4-day capacity building training for senior GRA and national audit officials in diplomacy and professional etiquette.
Hailed as an important step towards instituting a culture of diplomacy and strong observance of protocols for two very important public institutions, the GRA and the National Audit Office, this training is being spearheaded and conducted by the Diplomacy, Etiquette and Protocol Consulting Agency that is headed by the widely respected former Gambian ambassador to Senegal, Burkina Faso and Mali, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Ibrahima Ousmane Ndour. Addressing participants, Ambassador Ndour says thorough knowledge of protocol is an indisputable necessity for the proper handling of important diplomatic assignments and safeguarding the country's performance, image and reputation. Ambassador Ndour thanked the GRA and the National Audit Office for their support and willingness to take part in such an important training.
The Diplomacy Etiquette Protocol Consulting, DPC, was established in Banjul in December 2020, a month after my contract with the Gambia government came to an end in my capacity as High Commissioner of the Republic of the Gambia to the Republic of Senegal, and also Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Republic of Mali and the Republic of Burkina Faso.
He adds that capacity building is imperative to the development of both public and private institutions, and went on to enjoin participants to utilize the chance to participate fully in what is a rare opportunity. Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority, Yankuba Dabo, thanked Ambassador Ndour and his agency for facilitating this important training for his senior staff, and gave assurance of the GRA management's unwavering support to building the capacity of its staff, adding that such training courses will provide participants with the necessary skills and competencies to handle diplomatic engagements.
Revenue officers are not just required to be honest and disciplined. We are also required to be courteous and diplomatic in our engagement with taxpayers and the citizenry at large. Diplomacy, etiquette, and adherence to protocol is central in our operation as Revenue Authority, because diplomacy, etiquette, and protocol is about respecting and following correct procedures and the strict adherence to code of conduct.
Madam Fumike Sarr is one of the lead facilitators of the training, with vast experience in diplomacy, having served in Togo and other countries in the region. Participants will receive training on business, corporate office, and social etiquette. Ambassador Ndour also revealed that there are plans to extend similar training to diplomatic and government protocol officers, international and regional organizations. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
I'm afraid that is all we have time for. We apologize.